Hello, everyone. Welcome to eShe TV. I'm Aekta Kapoor. Today, I'm talking to three women who, like me, are supporting other women through their work. As India celebrates its 76th Independence Day, we're going to talk about what freedom means for Indian women. I'm delighted to introduce today's panelists to you. First up is Sangeeta Relan, an associate professor at Delhi University who has taught for over 30 years. She's the founder of AboutHer, an e-magazine in which she carries stories about women, their relationships, and their life challenges. She also runs a podcast about women trailblazers. She's currently pursuing her PhD in corporate governance and gender diversity at the Delhi School of Economics. Next up is Dr. Manisha Bose. She's a lecturer at Assumption University in Thailand and has worked at National College Mumbai and Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies. She's the founder of We Women Network in Bangkok, where she fulfills the role of chapter head of #Women Power, a global movement. She's also a social worker and a mentor for young girls in Thailand and India. My third guest is Shweta Saxena. She's an eco-entrepreneur, television personality, and the founder of Woman TV, a digital channel for women across the globe. She's a branding psychologist, TEDx speaker, and a digital ad filmmaker. She's been involved with women-centric non-profit work since 2010 in Switzerland, Australia, India, and UK. She's joining us today from Pune. So welcome to you all, and thank you for being here on eShe TV. I'd like to invite you all to share a little bit about your work. All of you are highlighting women's stories in your own unique ways. So, Sangeeta, let's start with you, and please tell us about your magazine, About Her.
So, thank you, Ekta, for having me here on this platform and to share my story, my vision, and about what I do. So, About Her is a women magazine that I started almost 6.5 to 7 years ago. And it started out as a blog. I mean, I have a website for that, where I wanted to write about women. So I started by writing short stories, articles, about women, their relationships, the challenges, the struggles they go through. The idea was to have a platform where other women who were reading about this could relate to those issues, could relate to those challenges, learn about them, get inspired, and lead their lives happily. Then, as the concept evolved, I decided to include a little more stuff like fashion, beauty, cooking, travel, books, hobbies, fitness, because I thought, let us make it into a magazine where women can also be entertained. It can't be all serious all the time. Then, as I moved along, I included another section which I call Women Trailblazers, and that is about women achievers. So here, what I do is that I interview women who I think have made a name for themselves in their chosen fields. They have broken barriers, stereotypes to come out on their own, and I talk to them about their challenges, struggles, successes, highs and lows, and this gets converted into an article. There are videos which are shared on YouTube, and finally it gets converted into a podcast. So the idea is that we bring women from different places, different age groups, different backgrounds to connect, and that way learn about each other, get inspired, motivated, empowered, and support each other. So all my guests are also available as mentors. If somebody needs support or advice on something, they are available there. And of course, as far as the future is concerned, I wanted to make it bigger, better, and connect more and more women, as many as I possibly can. So that's what I do.
Great. Lovely to be connected with you and to know about your work, which is you're really taking forward the cause of women supporting women, as the hashtag goes.
Yes.
And I'd now like to invite Dr. Manisha Bose. And Manisha, please tell us about your work in Bangkok and your work with We Women Network and with the hashtag Women Power.
Okay, so #Women Power was founded by Mr. DK Bakshi, and he asked me to be the chapter head of Thailand chapter for a year. And I was working with women, giving women a platform where in Thailand, I noticed that women lived in their own factions. Especially
Hmm.
most of the expat women, they come here, they don't find jobs. It's very difficult to find jobs because of linguistic barrier and various other barriers. Most women come to Thailand as trailing spouse because their husbands have got a job. they come here. And I did not find any platform for those women who are here, who are aspiring to do something, or who are already doing something, or who have been forced to be homemakers. Some of
Mm,
them have been, been entrepreneurs. Some have got jobs, like I have found myself a job. So I wanted women to have a platform where everyone could meet and even
mm,
drop their, geographical differences, their professional differences, and get together and have good conversations. And currently what has happened is I have founded We Women Network, because I'm chapter head of hashtag Women Power and also of Women TV, which takes interview of women entrepreneurs and which is giving them a platform. So they all are under it, and once a month we meet, and it's totally voluntary. One woman, she takes a workshop in what she is good at, and so many benefit. This gives that
mm,
woman a platform, and it also gives all those women who attend a platform to learn something. Like last time, a woman took, a session on how to use Insta to enhance business, or somebody is going to soon take a session on gut health. Of so see, from menstruation to menopause, we all have common problems, immaterial whichever country we come from. So that's
mm.
the kind of platform. It is there, and it's very enriching to be in that space, and that's what I'm providing, and I'm working towards it. And we've had very good events here. Couple of events we have done, which was to completely sponsored by local people here, and where 8 women ambassadors of different countries attended it. Last time also the same happened, where we had panel discussions where only women issues were discussed. So we do these kind of things, and it's going on well, and I'm hoping, and I have this vision that it becomes even better and more streamlined.
Great. It's great to hear about your work on the other side on the other side of the globe. You're taking forward the cause in your own way, in your own unique way, bringing together Far East and South Asia in a sort of in a kind of a global network.
Context.
We also have with us Shweta Saxena. So, Shweta, please tell us a little bit about your work and about Woman TV and how you've been trying to bring out the voices of women entrepreneurs.
Firstly, thank you, Ekta, for having me here. And yes, I have been seeing your lovely, amazing work for a long, long time now through eShe. Um, this platform of Women TV is similar to eShe, where we try to cover the power stories and journeys of various women entrepreneurs or women who are into different fields and making a mark. This is, of course, a non commercial platform. We try to offer branding to the women entrepreneurs through their video interviews and non commercial felicitations, which also boost their businesses to get and strengthen their network for B2C and B2B.
Great. So everybody's doing their own bit to highlight the cause of women wherever they are. Let's come to the topic of the day, which is what freedom means to Indian women. And in fact, I would like to start with myself and with my own experience of this. Um, Before I started eShe, I would work with I was working with a celebrity fashion portal. And, one of the privileges I had in that job was the opportunity to mentor women from colleges, girls' colleges in cities like Jaipur, Ahmedabad, and Bhopal. And when I would have those sessions with them, at the end of it, I would chat with them about what they want from life, what are their aspirations. And they used to tell me, very critically, that you're telling us what to wear and you're telling us about the latest fashions, but we're not allowed to wear what we want to wear. And even wearing jeans for us is a big thing. And when we leave the house, we have to dress in a certain way and we have to cover ourselves in a certain way. So you telling us all these things is only creating aspiration, but we don't really have the freedom to do that. And then we would talk further about journalism or fashion journalism or working in the fashion industry. And then again, they would say, but we don't have the freedom to work. We are told by our parents that we have to get married, we have to have children. So the idea of working itself is out of reach for most of these girls. And that's also leading up to the other thing, that they don't even get a choice of partner. So they marry who their families choose for them, you know. So that really, really stayed with me so many years later, that for an Indian girl, a normal Indian girl, what is freedom? Freedom, she cannot wear what she wants to wear. She cannot work if she wants to work. She cannot marry a person of her choice. So for me, I think that really opened my eyes to what freedom means for Indian women. That these are really basic freedoms that you would think that this should be allowed to anybody. Anybody should have the basic human freedom to wear what they want to wear, or to marry a person of their choice, somebody they have to spend the rest of their life with, and to go out and work if they choose to do that. But this is not a basic right for Indian girls, and even in the 21st century we do not have these basic human freedoms. So for me, that's what was my learning about what freedom means for Indian women. So let's come to you, Sangeeta. Please tell us from your experience. You've interviewed so many women trailblazers. What does freedom mean for Indian women?
So, Ekta, before I talk about Indian women in general, I would also like to talk about what freedom means to me as an Indian woman.
Yes.
So, I feel that freedom is the right, the liberty, the independence to make my decisions, to make my choices. Choices related to my mind, my body, my future. I think I am a considerably well educated person. I am of a rational mind, and I think I'm in a position to evaluate the pros and cons of various situations. So, decisions which affect my education, my career, my right to marry, my right to have children, my right to wear what I want to wear, do what I want to do, they should be left to me.
Mm,
I'm open to advice, I'm open to suggestions, but I am not open to any kind of force, any kind of judgment, any kind of questioning.
right.
Then freedom also means having the same opportunity, equal opportunity as anybody else in the room to do what I want. So if I'm looking for a progression in my career, if I am looking to say something, if I'm looking to do something, I should not be discriminated against because of my gender. Yes,
Right.
discriminate against me if I am not up to the mark, if I'm not on an equal footing, but my gender should not come in the way. Freedom means that I should be able to step out of my environment, whether it is my workplace, whether it is my home, and feel safe and secure. I can go where I want. I can wear what I want. I can do what I want. And again, no questions, no judgment, no fear. This is what freedom means to me. And when I talk about Indian women, yes, if we look back to where we've come from, of course, we've made a tremendous amount of progress. There, more and more girls are getting educated. They're joining the workforce. They're progressing in their careers. And of course, they're making a name for themselves in any and every field. But having said that, I would also like to say that we have miles to go. And those miles are largely the result of our mindsets, our values, our beliefs. And here I'm not talking about any particular gender. Women are equally affected by those mindsets. Say, for instance, there is a working couple. Still, it is the responsibility of the woman to balance work and family life. Men have the option. So if a child is sick, the mother, it's a given that it's the mother who will take leave and take care of the child. The husband, the father may or may not do it. That is still an option. I will not say the times are not changing. Women are not, men are not stepping in to, do what they should be doing, but still it is an option, and it will take a long time. So I have interviewed women who are in their 60s, who are in their 40s, young girls who are in their 20s, and believe you and me, they all say the same thing. A 23-year-old girl who's the owner of a makeup brand tells me that people come and ask her that, what will happen once you get married? Why is that even a question? She said, I looked at him, and that was a man, by the way, asking him. And she said, what will happen? My brand will become bigger and better. But why is this a question? That I think is something we still need to work on. Of course, I'm very, very optimistic, very, very positive, but I feel that we have miles to go. So that's my take.
Mm, mm. Thank you. Yes. So, Manisha, would you like to share your thoughts on this subject?
Completely resonate with you, Ekta, and also with Sangeeta. I have nothing different to say. So, for me, also, freedom is a choice. Whether a woman wants to be an astronaut or a homemaker, it's her choice. Whether she wants to get married or not, it's her choice. Well, who she wants to get married, her reproductive right, they are all the choices that she must have. And these choices, when she has, must not be given to her as a favor. This is her right. So, this whole thing that you said was allowed. This is still
Hmm.
very common. This is still very common. And I'm a mentor of a girls' college in Uttar Pradesh where the girls are extremely bright. Now, it's a degree college, and I talk very often to them like you talk. And, they are always saying the same thing as you said, that they're very bright girls, but they're like, we don't know if we will be allowed to work. No man is allowed or not allowed, but a woman is allowed or not allowed. But the only hope that I see there is these girls who, though may not be allowed to work, will educate the family, the neighborhood. And that's the only hope I see with education. They will get that freedom. Also, for me, freedom is that a woman, when she travels in a bus or a train, she is not scared who will touch her. She won't be so guarded of being molested or raped. For me, that is freedom, which we certainly don't have it in our country. And it's not only about India, it's there even in many other countries. Because, if you see statistically, sexual violence, violence against women, if you see most of the acid victims, they are, which was very high in Britain, but now in India, I went and met acid victims, and I didn't see any man there, and still they were in denial that this is not a gender based violence, it happens to the other gender. But when it happens to the other gender, it is not only one gender doing it to the other gender. So freedom is a very large concept. We are getting there. Like, for example, when I was growing up, I had very emancipated, educated parents. But when I went to my mom and I said, Mama, can we go here? Ask Papa. Let me ask Papa. But today I'm like, okay, I'm fine with it. Let's ask Papa also. Now, this is something which I feel is, also a freedom which women are getting. And as Sangeeta said, yes, we are coming there. We still have a long way to go. But, we are all here together in our sisterhood, trying to give support to each other, and, telling, don't feel, the mother's guilt, the imposter syndrome. It's all our concepts. They might not be facts, but then they are there and we do go through it. So we have to liberate still ourselves from these kind of, things which we are chained to because of our conditionality and also because of our own mindset. So that's what freedom means to me.
Great. And actually, what you were talking about, it reminded me of this video that just recently went viral about this young girl in Canada whose name is also Ekta, like me. And, she's a young student, biotech student or something. And the reporter is asking her, where are you from? And she says, I'm from India. And he says, what do you like about Canada? And she says, it was my dream to move from India to Canada. And he said, what do you like about it? And she said, well, I can walk around freely and I can watch the sunset and the sunrise on a beautiful landscape and beautiful scenery. And for some reason, a lot of people on Twitter got really upset by her saying all these things. And they called her anti national. They said, it's good that she's left the country. She has a very low IQ. And, she's talking this nonsense as if these things are not available in India. But the fact is that for a young girl, sometimes these things are not available in India. I mean, does the girl have the freedom to walk around on the street the way she'll be able to walk around in Canada? In the complete freedom, and like you said, the absolute fearlessness that nobody's going to assault me if I walk even in the middle of the night, or the freedom to even see the sun going up or down. I mean, in the villages, in fact, the sunrise is the time when maximum sexual assault takes place on women, because that's when they go to the farms, to the fields, to relieve themselves. So we don't have those the luxury of standing in a beautiful scenery and watching the sun go up and down. That's a very, very rare gift for a young Indian woman, to have that space, or to have that freedom, or that sense of safety, or yeah, even to have access to that kind of a scenery. So what you're saying just completely reminds me that how these little freedoms, we take it for granted that people have it, but we actually, they don't. If you ask the younger generation, you ask young people, young women, what are the freedoms they have, and then you know that these very basic freedoms are not, they're not a given. um, so let's come to you, Shweta. Tell us your thoughts on this.
For me, the definition can't be complete until and unless I'm able to call myself financially independent. And ever since I've started this channel, Women TV, since last like 14 years, I have dealt with so many women, and everything bottles down to how financially they are free, because that also impacts their confidence level, the kind of rights they bring to themselves, the kind of voices they are able to raise for themselves, everything bottles down there. That's the reason we have started economy, which also brings to limelight so many issues we Indian women are facing. Even if we are women entrepreneurs, our half of the business profit goes into household. We unwillingly or unintentionally give away the financial rights of our profits in the business to the spouse or the business partner, who mostly is a family member, a male family member. And even if it is not related to business entrepreneurs, their their access to the account of business is taken away, or personal accounts is taken away by sharing the passwords or changing the passwords by the family members or husbands. Also, the Sridhan which he receives during the marriage in India, that's been taken away कि मुझे कुछ business start करना है and your saving is important for me, so just give it away. And she's not been asked whether she's happy to give or not. So there are so many issues that we Indian women are facing when it comes to financial independence that needs to change. Secondly, having said that, this is what I see in the urban areas and cities. And when it comes to simple vegetable sellers, the women are very jagrit now. They have their own Google Pays, and the husband is sitting right next. But she's like, Didi, paise mere scan pe bhejo, because she knows this is coming to my bank account, even if that means 20 rupees per kg of that vegetable. So there is something nice happening in our country. We need to support each other and stand for each other. Yes, so financial freedom is what it is. Thank you.
Excellent. I think that's a very important point. Financial freedom, and we can see it all around us. Because of the lack of financial freedom, a lot of other freedoms of women are denied to them because they do not have their own financial freedom. And also the point that you raised about women supporting women, it's more than just a hashtag. It's a very important idea. So I'd like all of you to share these last thoughts before we close on what does it mean to you, and why do you think it's important for women to support other women? So, Sangeeta, let's start with you.
Well, I think it is important because nobody can understand a woman better than another woman. We all go through the same set of challenges, struggles, ups and downs. The timing may be different, location may be different, age groups may be different, but it actually ultimately boils down to the same. So if I've been working for the last 30 years and I see a young girl out there who's trying to balance her child or her family with her work, I can mentor her. I can tell her how to do it because I have been there. If I am somebody who's trying to make a name for myself, I am trying to say break the glass ceiling somewhere. Somebody who's already done that can tell me how to do it, and no better than a woman. A man cannot understand, what I'm going through. So I'll give you an example that just this week itself, my house help decided to disappear for some greener pastures or whatever, and we had to go for the weekend. Now, I couldn't go because there was no help. Now, first of all, there is a gender stereotype here that I chose to stay back and not my husband because I thought it was my responsibility. Not that anyone told me, but I thought it was mine. So, this is my own thing. Then, when I tried explaining the reason behind it, none of the men understood. They thought either I was playing hard to get or it was too trivial a reason. All my friends, whether women I'm talking about, so whether working or not working, they all kept sending me messages from there. Have you got someone? How are you placed? Are you still stressed out? So, what I'm trying to say is this is only something a woman can understand. Okay, so if I have faced abuse in a relationship and I see someone else going through the same, who else can be there to explain? So why not? I think I'm all for women being there for women. Yes, let's support, empower, inspire, motivate, uplift. I'm running out of adjectives, but everything that we can do to be there for each other because no one else can do it better than us. Thank you.
Right. And it's interesting that all our helpers are usually women too. So it's, so
Yes.
the domain of the home is considered a woman's domain, whether she's managing it or whether she's actually doing the work in it.
Yeah.
The domain of the home is considered, like you said, whether you're a working woman or whether you're at home, it's still your responsibility. It's
Yeah.
and for us working women, I don't think we are anywhere without our women supporters at home, because without them we wouldn't be able to work or leave our children or have our homes taken care of. So this women have been, I think, supporting women even before the hashtag came along.
Yes.
um,
Yes. Of course.
yeah, Manisha, would you like to add your thoughts here?
Yes, I personally believe that, women have always held and woven the social fabric in India. If you see, it's mother tongue all over the world. It's not father tongue. So it's the mother tongue that, she's responsible for. She's responsible for culture. She's responsible for teaching religion. She's doing everything. And just one thing that I would like to say, that when we speak about financial independence, we always disregard the all that a homemaker brings on the table. She enables a man to be financially
Right.
independent. Had she been not there, so I always see a lot of feeling where a woman feels very useless, because when I ask her, what do you do? Nothing. No, you're not doing nothing. You are a homemaker. You have been, and I've always felt a woman grows with the child. If you see in India, in every household, the mothers have always been the one who have been very flexible, who have been the buffer between the father and the child, who have even ensured the whole family is looked after. So when they have done so much, and they've always been supported by other women, so in spite of being all this to the family has felt thankless. But here she's got support from a friend, or from her own social system that she has made, which have been friends who have joined her in celebration, putting rangoli, making Diwali sweets. So women have always had the power of other women to be who they were. And especially in India, I feel selflessly, quietly, women have given so much, and they have not been given that right what they should have. Now they are waking up to the right. And when we talk about women empowerment, we are not saying we are disempowering the men. All we are not even talking about men. All we are saying is men and women are equal, and that's where the equality should be celebrated. And also, I personally believe it is not only the responsibility of women to empower women, it's also responsibility of men, because they will be stronger if they have a more empowered woman in their life, taking care of everything. Because, as you know, we are born nurturers, so we will nurture everything from a business to an idea to a home to everything. So yes, I believe in women supporting women, and I have found very beautiful women supporting. Even it was idea of a woman for we asking me to do We Women Network, and that was Shweta, who is here, who made me the ambassador, country ambassador of her TV. And she said, when you're doing so much work together, why don't you become a founder and bring all this under your umbrella? So this is what I feel, that women supporting women is was always there. I personally believe it was not that it wasn't there, and now it has come up and open. And today I have met Sangeeta, and I've met you for the first time, and it's so energizing meeting you all. And we know we will, in some way or the other, support each other whenever we can.
Yeah, a lot of brilliant ideas come together when a group of
Women.
motivated women come
Yes.
together. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. And the whole idea of the way women work is collaborative. It is helping, reaching out, making sure everybody has the space to speak up. They say that organizations where there are women in the leadership, the employees feel more enabled to take risks. Because they have a sense of not being suppressed. They have a feeling of being able to speak their minds and to take those kind of risks. So that always helps an organization grow when you have a more nurturing and a collaborative and that kind of an approach where each person feels included and seen. Yeah, so that beautifully said. Shweta, let's come to you now. What are your thoughts on this, on women supporting women?
Oh, well, I was always raised and consciously made to believe that there is a little bit of me in every she. Thanks to my
Mm,
mom who told me that, the day you will stop seeing another woman as a competition, you will see a little bit of Shweta in her. And even,
mm,
I may not be able to go out completely and be there for her, do something out of the way for her, but I'll make sure I'm not hindering in between. I'm not blocking her success. So that is one thing. And secondly, not just me, everything in India is changing for good because we women have pledged to support each other. And I really hope and pray this continues. Thank you.
I personally feel that if more women leaders come up, nation building will be much better. It will be so many problems from terrorism to sustainability. I think, all can be solved if we have more women leaders in the forefront. This is what I want to end with.
I
yeah.
absolutely agree with this. I think the women leaders will not only help to solve the problems, because, like you said, women have a more collaborative take on things, but then they'll also serve as role models. And the younger women will get inspired, and more of them will join the fray. So ultimately, I think we'll be much better off. And we've seen countries which are led by women are definitely doing much better than the rest of the world. So yes, that's, I think, a great thought. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
And
as
Shweta?
Ekta rightly mentioned, and all others as well, that the collaboration is the key. No matter you're in which kind of business, if you collaborate, make sure that you give next level business or have on board the vendors as women, and also hire women who are equally skilled as men. Give chance to her being a her. So that will
Mm,
definitely make a difference. Thanks.
That is
very
why
true.
my name of my this thing is called We Women Network. It's not I, me, her, or she. It's we. It's already a collaboration. So that's what is going to be the future of India, and I think all over the world.
Excellent. So hire women, pay women equally, read women, give women more platforms, help women lead, help women come up, and I think all of society will benefit, and not just women. All of society would benefit. So thank you everybody for being here and for this invigorating discussion. And happy Independence Day to you all.
Yes, happy
You too.
Independence Day. Jai Hind.
Happy Independence Day. Thank you so much.